Oh no, they f***ed with the lighting again. When I first saw this comment, I thought it's probably that the lighting kinda looks off sometimes, but no. As you've seen from the clip, it goes completely black. Now I understand why this guy posted this comment. Can you do a video about the mess they did with the last season of Warzone? You mean make a video about the outcome of trying to merge 3 separate COD games into one mega show?
This is the outcome of trying to merge 3 separate COD games into one mega shell.
Yeah, sure, I'll make one. Anyway, according to this article that I'm 100% sure that none of you are gonna question its validity, it says that in 2021, there were 127 million active users for Warzone. It also mentions that Warzone has 98 million active users currently. And to be fair, 98 million active users who still play this piece of garbage, good for them. But we still have a difference of 29 million active users. If only 10% of these 29 million decided to buy the cheapest thing from the in-game store, which is 200 COD points for $2, then Activision would be losing a profit of around $6 million a day. That number is no joke. Like $6 million a day? That's crazy. The decrease in the player count is due to the decline in COVID cases, ending lockdowns worldwide. I kind of agree with this, but at the same time, it's not the only reason. Like for me, despite the fact that the world is becoming more lenient with COVID restrictions, I still play a lot of video games. But I don't feel like playing Warzone anymore. Warzone's player count started dropping with the release of Black Ops Cold War, as most players were unhappy with Verdansk 84 and Rebirth Island. I mean, to be fair, Rebirth Island was not a disappointment for me, but I agree that Verdansk 84 was a disappointment because it was basically just a reskin. But yeah, maybe it makes sense that the numbers started dropping with the release of Cold War because the players were waiting for a huge major change to the map, but all we got was a lazy reskin. This comment sums it up perfectly. 80% of the map is the same. The buildings all have the same structure as before, are at the same places, and that's the big event we're waiting for since over a year. Good job, Activision. You came up with the laziest somebody could even imagine. This is it, friends. I give up. No one cares, but I just press delete and I hope I don't come back to this show. I hope at least some people can enjoy this joke. And then the article continues to say, Warzone's player count has declined further after Vanguard failed to meet expectations. This is where people might disagree about Caldera being a good or a bad map. You might say it's boring, maybe you would say it's uninspired, or maybe you would say that it's visually beautiful, but it doesn't play well, or that the points of interest suck, or maybe that the map is too open. But honestly, none of that matters to me because the map didn't work on day one. And I still remember the fanboys trying to defend this like, it's been less than 24 hours and we're already I think there's a saying that basically says you only have one chance to make a good first impression, something like that. I don't know, guys. Anyways, if you were to go on a first date and the girl starts off with some weird shit that she's into, I don't know, like she wants to use her diarrhea as a lubricant. If this is the first impression she gives me, there will be no second date, man. Unless you are so desperate that you know that this is the best that you can score, there will be no second date. So I don't care if it was fixed a month or two after release. The first impression that I got with Caldera is that it was a buggy, unplayable mess. And for me at least, my mind was set. This map sucks. Not to mention, it also broke Modern Warfare multiplayer since it shares the same launcher, so I couldn't play Modern Warfare multiplayer either. And Cold War had good zombies, but I was kind of fed up from playing it, and Vanguard sucks so much that I got bored of it after just few days of playing it. So I had no other choice than to look for better games that actually work, at least. So definitely, Vanguard and the Vanguard integration with Warzone was a huge reason why the player count just took a nosedive. Coming back to that comment again, it was posted 9 months ago. Well, now it's 9 months later and it's still a buggy mess. How long are we supposed to wait then? The game is almost at the end of its life cycle. Like, this is the last season for Vanguard and it's still not functioning properly. So I think that the people who were complaining 24 hours after the release of Caldera, I mean less than 24 hours since Caldera released, they were right. They had every right to complain because it's still not fixed yet 9 months later. Furthermore, most players left the game as cheaters were flooding the game. Although Activision introduced the Ricochet anti-cheat, it was too late. This is what I mean by having a good first impression. Even though the anti-cheat was a long-awaited addition, by the time they added it, it was already too late, and the game was still a buggy mess, so it didn't really matter. And as I said, I have already moved on to playing other games, and I'm sure that many other players did the same thing. I also heard that the anti-cheat doesn't even work, but I can't be certain because I often turn off crossplay because I don't even want to deal with this crap. Or maybe it's someone called Rick O'Shea, just a guy trying to ban hordes of cheaters by himself. Oh my god. Okay, it was pretty bad. Anyway, I am with the argument that sometimes, even if the game isn't perfect, you can still enjoy playing because your friends are there to play with you. So the company of your friends kind of make you forget about the game's imperfections. But when the game has so many flaws that even your friends stop playing, it's just sad. And I can't be the only one who feels this way because I saw a lot of comments that say the same thing. Caldera ruined my squad. One deleted the game, the other barely gets on. Now I just played duos with the last remaining teammates on Rebirth. I probably haven't played a quad game since Caldera launched. Glad it's working, but sadly 90% of my friends list is no longer playing. But maybe it's just a matter of taste. Maybe it's just me who just gives up after seeing the first bad impression. Maybe it's just me who gives up after seeing too many red flags. Maybe Cold War and Vanguard integrations were made for the type of people who enjoy staying in toxic or abusive relationships, hoping that one day that everything will change. A day where everything will be fixed. And if you're that type of person, then, my friend, you should go to therapy. Now, I can't speak in details about the latest Season 5 update and how it ruined the game. And as I said, the game was already a big pile of diarrhea when Cold War released, and especially when Vanguard released. So I'm guessing that the situation is still the same. So I didn't even want to open the game. So instead, I had to resort to Reddit. And the first thing I found is the clip I showed in the beginning where the screen turns completely black. And then I found out that Rebirth Island was removed from the playlist. The only map that's actually enjoyable, yeah, that map was removed. But that's the least of our worries because from what I've read, there are problems that I have encountered myself when Caldera launched, and they still haven't fixed them. So let me read this for you. Why are there so many broken buy stations, or you can't access it, or you can't confirm a purchase? Just lost the game because I couldn't get my teammates back, and a gas mask because the buy station didn't respond. My game kicks me back to the main screen after every single game. No fix for loadouts falling through the map despite it being around for 3 seasons plus? Great. And we still have people going under the map like this?
25 remain. Turn to base for debrief.
Honestly, Warzone is a complete joke. I'm sure a lot of people enjoy playing it, but that doesn't automatically make the game good, especially when we're talking about a free-to-play game. People would hop into anything if it's free, even if it sucks. And in my opinion, all they have basically done since Cold War released is keep the game on life support. In Cold War's life cycle, I think that it was COVID lockdowns that kept the game alive, and in Vanguard's life cycle, maybe releasing a bunch of cringy skins that that only 9-year-olds would buy is what kept the game afloat. I am saying this because the last good memory I have about Warzone was the Haunting of Verdansk event, which took place in Halloween, right before Cold War released. This event was the last time Warzone was good and fun. The Cold War integration is what started Warzone's downfall, in my opinion. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that the game is doomed or anything like that. I'm just saying that the game has been a complete joke since Cold War released. That's just my opinion. And a lot of people have been asking me if I am excited for Modern Warfare 2 and the next chapter of Warzone. Honestly, I am so neutral about the situation. When it comes out, I'm going to try it. If it's good, then I'm gonna continue playing it. Otherwise, if it's gonna be like Cold War and Vanguard, where they just keep the game on life support, then I'm not gonna continue playing it. But I have to say, I have a lot of confidence with Infinity Ward, so we might end up having a good life cycle like the first one. But who knows? Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. That's it for today. Jane, bye bye.